that is completely deserted.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning from our final day here in Tbilisi. So we just left the Airbnb. We got kind of a late start this morning. We slept in pretty late, almost like 11. Still getting over this food poisoning, but we just sat down at a cafe here in just on the other side of the Kora River, just to have some coffee, and then we're gonna keep exploring. And we have a 3:15 appointment at the bath, so we're gonna be going to the Royal Baths today. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to vlog in there or not. I think I might be able to with my Osmo Action. It's waterproof. Excited to share as much information as I can about the baths here in Georgia. That's a big bathhouse culture here. You can get rooms that are fairly cheap, up to like 50 lari, and they go way up to like 350 lari, which is over 100 US, where you can rent out like whole rooms with steam baths and massages, and it's almost like a spa in a way, but in a bathhouse. So we're just gonna finish up our coffee here, go walk around for a little bit more, and then head to the baths. Alright, so just before we go to the baths, we have like 2 hours. We're gonna take the funicular up to the top of one of the big hills that's overlooking Tbilisi. So you can take, it's basically like a train that runs every 20 minutes, and it costs 6 lari per person plus a $2 charge, two lari charge for a card. So it's like 8 lari basically total for one way up, and then another 6 lari back down, because the 2 is just for the card. So it's a train that goes up to the top. It's called the funicular. You can obviously have awesome views when you get up there. So we're gonna do that now in the 2 hours that we have before our appointment at the baths, and see what this is like. Thank you. So we just made it to the top. It's actually raining on top of this mountain, but it's like dry down in the city. The building has on the first floor a cafe, which is closed. And then the 11th floor, supposedly there's a restaurant on the 11th floor. That's the building behind me. It definitely doesn't look like it has 11 floors. It looks like an old Soviet like radio tower, or like thing is like crumbling and falling apart. Okay, well, we'll try and find the restaurant. It's probably not even open anyway, but we'll see. Some of the things you can do up here are a shooting range, go on a Ferris wheel when it's actually open. None of this seems like it's open at the moment. A bunch of different like carnival rides and restaurants. There's also like a train, I guess, or maybe that's, oh yeah, no, there's like a train that goes around the grounds. This is like a carnival grounds. This is like super creepy up here. There's literally all these carnival rides and music playing in Russian, I think, and no one is here. But the rides are open, I think. This is so weird. This is like a carnival at the top of this huge mountain over Tbilisi that is completely deserted. So weird. Okay, so that was creepy and kind of weird. We're actually just heading back down now. If we didn't catch this funicular back down, we'd be stuck up here for probably a while and we'd miss our appointment at the bath. So, pretty weird. Not sure you need to really see this if you're coming to Georgia, but the funicular ride itself, though, is definitely worth it. Pretty epic views of the skyline and the whole city. Walking back to our Airbnb now. When that place is actually busy and people are like actually there, probably pretty cool. So if you're coming here after COVID is over, it might be cool, but right now it's just like a dead, abandoned carnival with rides lit up and playing music and no one using it.
You have a reservation name? For scrub, you have to pay by cash. It's not our money. So
I see.
You can't
Okay.
buy online. So we can guide you inside your room.
Okay.
A peeling glove, it's for 5 lari and you can use just one time. Another glove, it's for 20 lari and you can use it many times.
Insane. This place is crazy. Wow, it's got to be 100 degrees in here Fahrenheit. Like, this is insane how hot this is. Oh my god. This is like a hot tub times 10.
So many guys from walking around the city.
Oh my god.
All the knots in my legs are getting worse and worse. My feet are very ticklish. It feels really good.
It was hands down the best massage I've ever gotten in my entire life. He was working my head hard. I'm pretty sure I lost some hair, which is not great because I'm already half bald, but super worth it. I mean, like, I think we paid a total for everything, 2 scrub downs, the bath itself, and then you have to pay a little bit extra for like robes and sandals and stuff. Probably, I think, a total of 150 lari, which is like 50 bucks for 2 people. So totally worth it. And probably the cleanest I've ever been in my entire life right now. Okay, we just got to, sorry, I'm gonna have to read this name. Sofia Melanikova Fantastic Douqan is the name of this restaurant. It's kind of a mouthful. This is a little bit, this is on the north end of the city. It's a little bit out of the way of the touristy area. And we're here principally for the khinkali. We've heard that they have really good khinkali here. So we got 2 types of khinkali, and we also get khachapuri, which is the Georgian flatbread that you hear all the time. We got a specific style called Ajian, which is basically with an egg on top and butter and cheese. So that was awesome. They let me back in the kitchen to actually see how they make the khinkali. So she starts out hand rolling all of the pre-made dough balls, and from there she continues to flatten them out to make them bigger in order to accommodate the meat filling which is going to go inside. There's a pre-made meat filling of different types of meat, herbs, and spices. This is spooned into the individual pastries and then hand forms them into the shape of the khinkali, which take on the shape of essentially a dumpling. Awesome. So cool. She continues to make more. Each order comes with about 5 khinkalis. And from there, the khinkali are placed on this old wooden cutting board and they are slid into a pot of boiling water. They cook there for a few minutes before being brought out to the table. And they are literally rolling them out by hand back there and hand stuffing them and wrapping them before they put them in the boiling water to actually cook. That was awesome experience to see that. I didn't know that, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but like to see that they're still making these things by hand, rolling out the dough, 2021, that's really cool to see. So this is the khachapuri. It's essentially bread baked in a clay oven, and it comes in a bunch of different varieties. This is Georgian, like I was saying, which is cheese on top, which in this case is like a salty, really good local Georgian cheese. I think we actually had a little bit of this the other night. And then when it comes out, they crack an egg on top, and then they also put like a huge slab of butter on there as well. So this is the khinkali, which is basically, it's similar to a dumpling, but with much thicker dough. 3 of these things is like a meal in itself. Still getting over the food poisoning. Like every bite that I take is like, it's delicious food, but it's like, is it gonna come back up? This is like the second or third time we've had khinkali, and they're always this big. So the way you actually eat these is because they're filled with essentially scalding hot soup, you bite a little hole in the dough and drink the soup out of it, and then eat it. Otherwise, when you take a bite of it, it will just squirt soup out the back end of it. Kind of like having food poisoning. These are so good. So these are a little different. These are actually not filled with soup like the meat ones are. These are just filled with potatoes, so you can just like eat these normally. It also comes with some sour cream because potato. Very different than the meat ones. Like totally different, but also really good. I actually think I prefer the meat ones, but these are fantastic as well. All right, so just got back after dinner, completely exhausted. We're actually like in bed right now. So vlogging from bed. We have kind of a big day tomorrow. We're gonna, first thing we have to get COVID tested in the morning because we have to have a PCR test in order to get back, even to transit through Amsterdam. We need a PCR test, and then we obviously need a COVID test to get back in the United States. So we're not really sure where we're going to do that yet. So we have to get up and get that. Then we're grabbing a rental car because we're driving out to Signathi, which is in one of the main winemaking regions of Georgia. And we're going to spend 2 nights out there before coming back to Tbilisi for a day and then flying back home this weekend. Between food poisoning and the bath today, I'm just completely crushed. So hoping my stomach feels a little bit better in the morning. I'm utterly exhausted. I'm going to bed. Like I said, we have to get up early in the morning, and I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully on the road to Signathi, assuming we get a COVID test in the morning and that actually all goes as planned. All right, guys, have a good night.